Anyway, getting straight into today. So, main subject that we have to talk about today is something that is very, 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 very bad. Obviously, a lot of things we talk about are very, very bad because in the dystopian, totalitarian hellscape that is many areas of the UK, there's not really much good to talk about. There is some good to talk about, but there's not really that much good going on to talk about. And many people still want to pretend that the bad isn't happening so as to obfuscate it and get away from it because they don't want to admit some uncomfortable realities and stuff like that. But what we have going on, the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf in London has become now a place hotbed of controversy because in the early hours of last night or in the early hours of this morning, the Britannia Hotel, which if you read the description online, says here, suited on the water's edge in Canary Wharf, the the International Hotel, that's the name of the hotel, the Britannia International Hotel, is a modern glass-fronted building close to the internationally famous business district. It has superb views over the London skyline. Whether you're looking for a hotel in London for business or leisure, the International Hotel offers a prime location and fantastic value for money. It's pet friendly as well, which I think is important to go over. It says it's pet friendly, with £10 per pet for the first night or £25 per pet for 2 nights. £50 refundable deposit applies. Per pet per room, no limit. Okay, so very, very nice hotel. But as is the case in the current UK, especially with the current UK government that we have, everything is being weaponized for a politicized purpose. And I mentioned the pet-friendly element there because the Hotel Britannia, so the Britannia International Hotel, if you have a look on Google, it's a 4-star hotel with 5,781 Google reviews, overall 3.2-star rating, is temporarily closed. It is temporarily closed. And the reason why it is temporarily closed is a reason that we keep being told isn't happening. We keep being told stuff isn't happening, and every time we look around, every time we're told that it isn't happening, more instances of the thing that we're told isn't happening keep happening. Such as, under the cover of night, under the darkness, in the middle of the night, we had busloads of military-age men, only military-age men, ferried into this hotel in Canary Wharf, this 4-star hotel, literally ferried in, and all of them are getting off the bus with these envelopes in their hands. And a lot, like the person who posted this said they look like they're dressed in uniform. Yeah, they're not exactly wearing rag clothing. Let's put it that way. They're not exactly wearing rag clothing. A lot of them wearing very dark clothing. They do actually look like they're in some kind of very dark grey uniform, to be fair to the person as they're coming off this bus. They all have envelopes in their hands. And this is now a sign again, it's getting very, very sinister now. If you have not realized at this point that the government, whether you realize it or not, and whether you want it or not, whether you care about it or not, whether you care about the affairs of other people and other things going on or not, the government is at war with you. You might not think that you're at war with them, but the government is at war with you. They declared war a long fucking time ago. This is just where it's building to now. This is like DEFCON 2. This is DEFCON 2 we're at now. Literally the government bussing in military-aged males, as I said, by the coachload, this massive fucking coach, housing them with envelopes, and makes you wonder, why? What do they have to gain? They have to gain an entire foreign, basically militarized enforcement agency, backed by all of these open border NGOs and all of these things, and the globalists at the World Economic Forum, UN, all of this stuff, the George Soros Open Border Society, or whatever it was, the Open Society is always called, Open Society Foundation. That's it, Open Society Foundation. All of these, all in bed together. They want to implement a one-party state all across the world. They want to get rid of all national sovereignty. They'll do that by putting natives into slavery with foreign military units, basically. That's what these are, and that's what you're going to see now dismounting this bus in this video. Coming on screen now.
The time is 1:33, the 1st of August.
So as you can see, They're all getting off the bus. It's the International Hotel in London. They're all getting off the bus. They're all wearing very similar clothing. Look at the envelopes. Look at the envelopes in their hand, ladies and gentlemen. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. Look at the envelopes in their hands. What is that? We deserve to know what that is. We deserve to know what that is, because there's no way that these people should be here. This is a massive national security threat. What papers have they been given?
Would anybody like to speak to me?
What orders have they been given? Why are they here? Why are they here? I just told you why they're here. I told you why the government wants to use them. This is very, very sinister. Some people in the comments saying that envelope containing battle plans, maybe. And, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility now. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It makes you think, what are they coming over with? Are they coming over with maps of you know, where we live? Are they coming over, obviously, money, ID, instructions? What have they been given? Or, you know, as part of this massively sinister agenda, which the government keeps telling us isn't happening, except for when Keir Starmer, whether it was a Freudian slip or not, literally came out and said all of this has happened by design. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. And if they're outright telling us now that all of this happened by design, and all the masks are gone. All the masks are gone, pretty much. If they've gotten now to the point where they feel that they can take the mask off and they're not going to face any repercussion, accountability, or whatever it is for it, just imagine how far along they've got in this plan, how far along they've got in this very sinister plan, that they now don't feel the need. They don't feel the need of the cloak of, the cloak and dagger, the cloak of, I can't remember the word I'm looking for, the cloak of secrecy, the cloak of secrecy. They don't feel as though they need secrecy anymore. That should really, really worry you, because that tells you how far along in this plan that they are, and that it is very likely very near completion, whatever it is that they're doing. And the biggest, scariest thing is that we have 4 more years of this current government. We have 4 more years of this current government. Short of a revolution, we have 4 more years. And you do have to think, I think back to the conversation I had with James Monroe, the Homeland Party activist, a lot. A great conversation. It's still currently, I believe, my best performing conversation on YouTube. We had a great conversation about in his late teens, going down to really far right, you know, nationalist, socialists, kind of Nazi-like extremism, and actually how the Homeland Party kind of pulled him away from that in many ways. At least that's how he sees it, right? We had a great conversation. I think it was about 2.5 hours long. And he said one of the most dangerous ideas that was being bandied about at the time, and it was something that I've said a lot, and it's a concept I keep coming back to, of, is there actually a political solution? He said one of the most dangerous things that's going about at the moment is that there is no political solution. It's one of the most dangerous thought processes you can get into your mind, because then if there is no political solution, what does that leave? That leaves nothing but a apolitical or a fighting wartime solution, right? That's what the necessary consequence of that would be. If there's an issue you have now on a countrywide scale that you can't solve politically, you can't solve at the ballot box, or you can't solve with dialogue and discourse, then what does that leave? That leaves fists, that leaves bullets, that leaves bombs, right? That's the only other recourse, right? And I keep coming back and thinking about that. I'm thinking, have we gotten to the point now where maybe that's even that hope that I had needs to go because of how far we are, especially in some areas at the very least. But we're seeing even people in my area, you know, I talk to my family and stuff like that in the area that we live, in a relatively rural part of Wales, very quiet town. And even I try having conversations with my family about this, and they don't see it at all, even though it's right in front of their faces. They keep saying about how many unidentified people that they've never seen before, that are obviously not of the Welsh people, right? They have distinct differences, right? You can tell they're from a different place in the world. The language that they speak, how they look, that is one thing. Customs, all of these things, they're popping up in numbers we've never seen before. People are starting to notice. The alarm bells aren't going off yet in the way that they should be. But this is the thing. This is London, right? And London is a multicultural, dystopian hellscape with a rape being reported every hour, right? With a rape being reported every hour. And that's a similar case for all of the cities across all of our countries where more and more of these people have come in, where our government have actively brought more and more of these people in, very similar to, except with the Soviet Union, for example, when they socialized women in this way and they facilitated, you know, some of the worst atrocities against women that you could ever think up, right? You know, sexual violence, you know, rape, gang rape, murder, torture, the lot, right? Except the government basically brought a bunch of foreigners in to do this, you know, because we actually have, as the British people, we actually have morals and empathy and all of these things, right? We're actually pretty good. We're actually pretty goddamn good people, right? And people that the government are bringing in don't share that a lot of the time. They don't share that a lot of the time. And we're now seeing it, not just in the cities, we're now seeing it in rural Welsh towns. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because our birth rates are getting, you know, they're still remaining below replacement. Birth rates below replacement. You know, our young people are in trouble because they don't have a guiding light to focus on that brings them together. So you want, that's the one thing that God is pretty good at, you know, is bringing people together and binding them together, right? In family structure. So ultimately what sanctifies the family, otherwise it's God, right? Without God, you don't have any reason to sanctify the family, and then people might as well go off, do whatever the hell they want, and then you end up below replacement, and then the government seeks to replace you with a bunch of foreigners that not only want to come in and replace you and take all your resources and stuff like that, but often want to do disgusting, heinous things to you, usually in the name of ethno-religious conquest. They facilitated it with your pride. With your pride is what facilitated that. But anyway, that's a conversation again for another time. But